Hi everybody, this is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this homemade Oreo cake. It's a triple layer with Oreos in each layer, on the top, on the outside. It's got lots of steps, so let's get started. To make the vanilla part of the Oreo cake, we're going to start with half a cup of butter cut into cubes, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, half a cup of milk, 2 eggs, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of granulated sugar, and then in this bowl I have 10 Oreos chopped up into quarters. So the first step is to combine our dry ingredients. I'm just going to pour them into my mixer here. So the flour's gone in, and the sugar, and then the baking powder and the salt. And I'm just going to mix it for about 30 seconds. So once our dry ingredients are mixed together, we're going to take our chunks of butter, and I'm just going to put in 2 here, and then I'm going to turn on the mixer and let it mix. And what this is going to do is it's just going to cut up the butter into little teeny tiny morsels, and it will make a nice little nice light batter. So I'm just going to turn that on, and then I'll gradually add the other 2 as well. So once my butter is all mixed into my dry mixture, I'm going to add my eggs. And then I'm going to let it mix until those are slightly mixed in, and then I'll gradually add the milk while the mixer is on. Once the vanilla cake batter has come together, we're going to add our quartered Oreos. I'm just going to stir it up just a couple rotations here. We don't want them to be too crumbled up. I want them to be nice and chunky like this. So that's probably perfect. I'm going to put my cake batter into an 8-inch cake pan, and it's going to bake in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 40 to 45 minutes. So to make the chocolate Oreo layer, we're going to start with 3/4 cup of cocoa powder, 2 cups of granulated sugar, half a cup of vegetable oil, 1 cup of buttermilk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, half a cup of water, which we're going to heat up in the microwave so it's nice and hot, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and 20 Oreo cookies chopped up into quarters. So we're going to combine all of our dry ingredients first for this chocolate version. So we're putting in the sugar and the cocoa powder and the flour and the baking soda and the baking powder and the salt. So we're going to mix this for about 30 seconds until it's all combined. So once the dry stuff is mixed together, we're going to add in the eggs, and I'm going to let them stir. And then while the mixer is still mixing, I'm going to gradually add in the oil, the buttermilk, and the vanilla. So I've heated the water up, and now I'm going to add it gradually to the batter as well. So the last thing we're going to add to our chocolate batter are our chopped Oreos. So like before, I'm just going to give them a couple rotations here with the mixer, and then I'm going to put them into my 8-inch pan, 2 8-inch pans, and they're going to bake at 350 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. So while the cakes are baking in the oven, what I'm going to get going next is the cream, and we're going to be using this as the filling and as the coating around the outside of the cake. So what we need for it is 2 cups of whipping cream, 2 cups of icing sugar, 8 ounces of cream cheese, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I've got my mixer here fitted with my whisk attachment because the first thing I'm going to do is whisk my whipping cream until stiff peaks form. So my whipping cream is nice and stiff now. So what I'm going to do is just switch it out, set that to the side, and put another bowl on here. And my switch back to my paddle attachment, and I'm going to cream the cream cheese in here, and I'll do that till it's nice and soft. So to the cream cheese I'm going to add the icing sugar, and while that's mixing I'll gradually add in the vanilla. So I'm just going to turn this on, let it mix, and then I'll be back. The last step for our cream filling is we're going to add our previously whipped whipping cream into our cream cheese mixture. So I'm just going to pour that all in there. And then I'm just going to turn on the mixer really slow and really low, and then I'll just let it mix until it's all combined. So once the cakes are cooled and you have your cream filling ready, what we're going to do is we're in between each layer, we're just going to put about a half a cup worth of the filling into there to make it nice round, nice smooth layers. You can put as little or as much as you want, but I just want to err on the side of caution just because I want to make sure that I have enough to go around the outside of the cake. You could always make more, but it's kind of annoying. So after that one's on, I'm going to take my vanilla Oreo layer and I'm going to put that on top, line it up, there we go, and then I'm going to take again some of our cream, spread that around, and the last thing will be to top it off with the second chocolate layer. So we'll do that now and line that up. Like that. So just clean off my edges here. Now, right now, I'm going to just apply like a really thin layer, which is known as a crumb coat. And then I'm going to pop it into the freezer for about half an hour because I want it to set in order to do that final coat. The final coat will be quite thin, but I want to be able to apply it and not have any crumbs in the mixture. So I'm going to do that, just finish covering this, and then pop it into the freezer. So after I've taken the cake out of the freezer, I'm just going to apply the final coat. Like I said, it doesn't have to be very thick. You just want to hide any of the dark spots, but we're going to be covering it up with lots of cookie crumbs and some ganache on the top, so it's not really a super big deal if you've got any dark spotches. So I'm going to finish this off, and then I'll be back to show you what you're going to need for the garnish. For the garnish, we're going to be using some chocolate ganache, which we have already up on our channel, and we'll put a link to it in the description box below. I have 10 coarsely chopped Oreos here, and I have the rest of the filling in my bag with an open star tip. The tip I'm using is an Ateco 827, but you can use any kind of tip. And then I also have, it's probably about 4 or 5 halved Oreos as well. So the first step to finishing the cake is I'm going to take my chopped Oreos and I'm just going to press them up to the side here. And I want to go about a third of the way up the cake. You can go as far or put as little as you want on here. And the reason I coarsely chopped them was because I really like the way how the white comes out on some of them. And underneath my cake stand here, I just have just a large cake pan, and it's just catching any crumbs so I can reuse them and it doesn't make a huge mess of the kitchen. It's just going to go around just like this, and then I'll be back to do the next step. Once the sides are done, I'm going to take my ganache. I'm just going to place it by the spoonful on the top here. And I just want it to slightly go over the edge, not too much so. And then I'll just work my way around the cake, creating a little border on the top. So I'm just going to do that go all the way around, and then we'll be back for the last couple of touches. To finish off the cake, I'm going to put a couple of the leftover crumbs into the center here, like that. And then I'm going to take my leftover filling and I'm just going to squeeze little stars here and go around the border, kind of that was made by the ganache, all the way around like that. And then I'm just going to take my halves and I'm going to put them probably in every second or every third. So I'm just going to finish this off and then I'll be back to show you a cut up cake and the finished of this one. So there you go, everybody, how to make your own Oreo cake from scratch. I hope you enjoyed the recipe today. Remember to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all of our newest videos. And remember, you can also find us over on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, Google+, all those awesome social media sites. The links to those are in the description box below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.